Hey guys, we got a lot to talk about today. We got Taal Volcano erupting. It's not like a full eruption. We are starting to get some sulfur smells over here in Tracy Martires. I'm actually getting them right now, and it's quite strong actually. I could smell like that strong sulfur smell. It's actually not that bad. Some people say sulfur smells bad. I don't really, it doesn't really bother me that much. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this today because it's actually affecting our weather over here. Because for you guys that don't know about Taal, Taal has a lake. There's Taal Lake, and then there's another lake inside of like this island, and that is actually the real volcano. And there's a small volcano that kind of sticks up. That's a dormant volcano on the island, and then the lake itself is the actual volcano. And that lake is, whenever there's an eruption or any magma or anything down below, it starts boiling away, and it's got like a spring, I guess, that feeds it. And that lake right now is really, really hot from what I understand. I think it's 75 Celsius right now, which is really, really hot. So there's a lot going on over at Taal, but I wanted to talk about that because it affected school today for the kids. All the schools in Tracy Martires, they canceled. It's affecting our weather over here. It's kind of a hot, steamy weather here. The humidity is like almost drenching, and my air conditioner broke down the other day, and we were suffering in the house, man. It was steamy in there. It felt like we were in an oven, and we had to sleep in that. We had fans going. The fans weren't doing anything, and I actually put in a 2 horsepower AC to replace my old one. The other one was broken. It was a carrier, and the electrical panel broke, the computer panel, I guess. And the guy said that usually happens with carrier, the computer portion of it. He says it usually happens right after 5 years. So he says you can replace it. He says that will probably last another 5 years. Then something else will happen. He says they're good. They last a long time. But he says you've had it running for 5 years, never ending. And it's true, because my compressor and my AC is constantly running. I like to have it ice cold. For you guys that know me, anybody that knows me knows I like my house ice cold. But this one here, man, I put it on 25, and it feels nice and icy and dry in there. It feels really good in there, and I'm happy with that. I used to have the other one on 23, and it would be on all the time. And this one here is shutting off. It seems to be like a little bit more condensation outside, dripping, things like that. So I'm gonna have to see what I can do about that to keep that down outside. I got to talk to another air conditioning guy to see if we can kind of resolve some of the things that are going on out there, because last time the foam insulation around the tubing out there started to deteriorate. So I don't want that to happen, for those to get soaking wet and then they never dry out. But maybe that's just something you have to do, is every year you probably have to replace those or whatever. But I also want to talk about this, is that a lot of you guys know I've been going through a lot over the past 6 months. I've been struggling with my health. I've been struggling with some other issues, personal issues and stuff. Some of you guys know what I've been going through. Some of you guys don't. I really can't talk about it, okay? And I just want you guys to know that everything is getting better except for my health conditions, except for my back conditions. I'm out walking today. Today I'm actually having a good day. And I still every morning suffer with the back issues. And when I get up in the morning, you have no meds in your system. None. Zero. So the first 2 hours, I suffer with the sciatica. And some days are worse than others. And some days I can struggle through it and get out and start walking, and it's a good thing that I can get up and still function most of the day. But sometimes it takes anywhere from an hour and a half, an hour, all the way up to 6 hours to get my leg working, because the sciatica runs down your leg. And sometimes the baclofen doesn't work on the first try. And you take the baclofen, and you feel a little better. You can start walking. You don't get the shooting pains as much, but you still have like that numbness in your leg. Well, anyway, sometimes like 3 hours after I take the other baclofen, I have to take the other one, and I'll take maybe another acetaminophen or whatever if I have to. And I don't like taking a lot of medications because it bothers my kidney, and that's another issue all by itself. is that when you take too much of this stuff over time, it damages your kidneys. And it can cause a lot of issues, you know, as far as your kidney goes. It can cause kidney failure, and dialysis and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. And, you know, that's not a cool thing to have something like that going on in your kidney. But anyway, I've been trying, a lot of people have been sending me all kinds of stuff. Steve, you got to try this. Steve, you got to try that. Steve, you got to try this belt. You got to try these exercises. We've done all the exercises. It helps to a point. It does not alleviate it. It kind of makes it, I'll say, a little bit better sometimes. And sometimes it actually makes it worse. The exercises do. Okay, we're going to try acupuncture at some point. I got to find a real true acupuncturist who's licensed, like a Korean acupuncturist, a Chinese acupuncturist. I don't want to just walk into a guy and have the guy tell me that he's an acupuncturist when he's just a faker and he's sticking needles in me and thinking that something's working and it's not, you know, because I used to have an acupuncturist back in the United States who was a Korean acupuncturist, and the guy was phenomenal. He did really, really good work for my jaw, actually. And I know that it works. So that's my next thing to try. And after that, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But I've been really, really trying to get this rolling. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys have been asking and trying to find out what's going on. So those are the two things that are going on. But my health hopefully will start getting better now that the personal issues are off my shoulders and lifted off there. And thank God for that. I mean, that has happened, because that really weighed a lot on my health, my mental health, everything. It makes you deteriorate because you're worried, you're concerned, you don't know what's going to happen next. It's just, you know, when you go through personal issues, sometimes they can be really detrimental to your health, to your mental health, to your physical health too. And that has been lifted off of me. Hopefully that helps me with my regular health. I'm not sure if it'll help with my sciatica. It usually doesn't, because I had sciatica for many, many years now, and it's just gradually gotten worse. But I do know that sometimes personal issues can aggravate that, you know, and I read up on that too. It says that sciatica sometimes is attached to your mental status, your mental health. If you're going through stress, you know, stress is a big mental health issue, let's face it, for some of us. And if you have a lot of issues, it can affect the tightness of your muscles and stuff like that, and you clench your teeth and all kinds of other health issues. You know, it just keeps on. It's like a domino effect. When it starts happening, it gets really, really bad. And that's what's been going on with me. So in my channel lately, I've been struggling to get out the videos that I usually get out, because you wake up in the morning and your health issues are going on, and it's like, geez, I don't feel like doing this today. And, you know, now I feel reinvigorated today. I kind of feel refreshed, you know, that this is happening, that this got lifted off my shoulders. And it's not fully done yet, but it's almost there. And I'm glad that I've had a lot of people that have helped me, and I want to thank them publicly, the people that have helped me. And there's been a lot of them that have helped me. And I can't talk much about it. I can just say this, that I'm grateful for all the people out there that have helped me with everything, both my health conditions and the other problems that we've been going through. And I mean, I can't thank people enough for the help that I've gotten from people. And I'm so grateful for everybody out there. And this is a public thank you to you guys that have helped me both with my health issues and the other things. And my health continues to have issues, but I know I'm gonna always suffer with those, pretty much, and that's part of my life. It's part of aging, I guess you can say, and hopefully that goes away. But I also want to state this here, guys, that I want to talk about something else a little bit. One thing I find about the Filipino people, if you need help, they're there for you 100%, especially when you're sick or you're feeling down or you're having some sort of serious issues. Most Filipinos are there for you to help you. I think back in the United States, when you're going through issues, all your friends kind of leave. Oh, Steve's sick. I don't want to get involved. You know, like that. It's, I mean, I have friends that would help me back home, truly help me because I've helped them. when they were having problems or they were down. But with that said, you know, you kind of here you develop new friends, and you find out who your real friends are over here, because people come out of the shadows here that you least expect. When you are having health issues, they ask you, do you need me to do something for you, Steve? Do you need me to, you know, you want me to bring your electric bill down? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to pay your water bill? You know, I know you have a hard time or whatever. And that's awesome that people do that here. And it's part of the Philippine culture here, is that when somebody's sick or old or something like that, they're willing to help you. And let's face it, we're not young. I know a lot of guys over here think of themselves as young, but we're really truly not. We kind of are, you know, our body is like a vehicle for our souls and our mind. You know, our body is truly a vehicle. And if you don't take care of that vehicle, it's going to break down like a car. If you don't change the oil, you don't feed it the right gas or the right octane gas or something, you're going to break down sooner or later. And I find that, you know, people don't think of their bodies like that. We think of our body as something that's always going to be there for us and hold up. And if we don't take care of it, it's not going to hold up, you know. And some of us have 8-cylinder motors, and some of us got diesels, and some of us got 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders, and some of us bought a used rebuilt motor, you know. And when you think of it that way, it's really true, because everybody has a different makeup to their body. And here in the Philippines, man, you know, if you don't take care of it, it's going to deteriorate fast, because the heat affects you, the pollution affects you in some areas, food, bacteria. We have bacteria issues here, things like that. We have all kinds of problems here. And, you know, you really have to take care of yourself here. And you also have to build up your social networks here, so that, God forbid, you get sick, you know who you can talk to. And write down things in a book of what to do, and keep that book in a safe place, that when something happens to you, if you live alone, this is what you should do. And even maybe if you don't live alone, so your wife knows, your girlfriend knows, honey, there's a book there. It tells you everything, you know, what to do for me, what you need to do every month, and start doing that, and tell them how to do it, word, you know, step by step. And, you know, what's it going to take you, a day or two to piece that together? You know, I was thinking about that the other day, and I mentioned this before, that if you're going through something, leave a book behind to tell people what to do when you're sick, what to do when you die, where's all the papers, maybe even put all the papers in that book. So all they have to do is reach for that book, who to call in an emergency. You know, maybe you have a friend here in the Philippines that'll come and help you, an American friend that will help. That's, you know, maybe you're a veteran. Maybe you need to put the VFW number in there, and maybe who to call there to get you buried up in, you know, the up in Clark, the cemetery, the VA cemetery, or the military cemetery here that you can get buried in. I'm not sure the name of it. I think there's a couple here you can still get buried in. And, you know, you need to tell people all this information, because, and then Filipinos are kind of like, well, they don't like to talk about that. They don't like to talk about death. They're actually afraid to talk about it. And they think that you're always worried about it, you know, and it's not that you're always worried about it. It's just that we want to make sure that when something happens, we're prepared. And a lot of the Filipinos here, they don't want to talk about it, period. They say, no, don't ever talk to me about that. So you got to kind of, if you can't talk to them about it, write it in the book. Put it in a book. And that's the best way to spend your energy, rather than talking to them, because they're going to forget anyway. So put all the stuff in the book. Who to call, who to contact, where's the money to bury you. You know, maybe you can buy a St. Peter's card for a cremation, or for your burial or whatever, and put it in your wallet or something like that, and maybe get it laminated or something. You know, get that done. It's the best way to do things, you know, over here, because you need to be ready for that. And also have the book there for who to call when you get sick. Where's your insurance card or whatever? Who to call? You know, if you TRICARE, use a TRICARE hospital over here. Some people have TRICARE, you know, over here, and there's certain hospitals that will cover you. So make sure you're ready for this stuff. Make sure you have all this stuff prepared. I can't tell people enough how much preparation it takes to come over here, because things over here are so different. It's not like in the United States. You're in a foreign country. So when you have TRICARE over here, It's a little bit different than TRICARE back home, because you can basically walk in almost any hospital back home pretty much, and they're going to accept TRICARE. Over here, a lot of hospitals won't, but there are TRICARE hospitals over here. So if you're retired military, you can have your TRICARE over here. There are places that will take it. But FMP is the same thing, foreign medical plan for you guys that are disabled vets and didn't retire. You have the FMP hospitals over here, which you can put in for your disabilities. Any service-connected disabilities you can get covered over here, and they'll take care of it as long as it is your service connections. You just have to fill out the paperwork and make sure all the information is in there, otherwise they will not honor that. And when you talk to other people, you need to let them know that. So you have to put that in that little book there, say, send this into, and put the documents in there to send in those things. Put in all the sheets that you have to fill out to send in your FMP submissions, for the foreign medical plan for you guys that are service-connected veterans. You need to be ready. And most guys over here are kind of unfit in that way, that they don't get ready. They don't prepare themselves, and this is a kind of a morbid talk, Steve. We don't like to talk about this. Well, it's part of life, and we are up around the age where people start dropping off. And I was just telling somebody the other day that people here eventually pass away. Your friends. My father used to say that all his best friends had all passed away. And it was starting to get lonely in life. And that was when he was in his 70s. He was in his 70s when he said that, I believe. Early 70s, maybe late 60s. He says, all my friends are dead. All the people that I was once friendly with are all dead, Steve. And it kind of gets lonely, and us as veterans here and expats, we're all over here retired expats. Majority of us are, anyway, not all of us are retired. And that changes things for us, because our friends are also retired, so they start passing away. A friend of mine just passed away the other day. Very close friend of mine, Thomas Quigley. Thomas, phenomenal man. Talk to him often. He's from Boston, just like me. We always had stuff to talk about, talking about our younger years in the Boston area, and talking about when he went back to Boston. And as soon as he came back here, he passed away. As soon as he got back here. And I kind of felt that the trip might have been too much for him. And I kind of told him that. I says, Tom, at your age and, you feel looking so frail, are you ready to take that trip? And he says, no, I'm really not ready, but I'll be okay. I'll just rest when I get there the first few days. And for a lot of us in our 60s and 70s and 80s, we think we're Superman. And in reality, we're not. We're not Superman anymore. We're older. We're more unhealthy. We don't have the energy we used to have. So to take a 30, 40 hour trip, and when I say trip, it starts from the time you leave your house to the time you get to your other place. Sometimes it takes 30 to 40 hours. Sometimes you can get lucky and be 25, depending on where you're going in the United States. But to go to the East Coast, it's a 30, 40 hour trip. It's tough, and that takes a toll on your body. And you guys got to really start rethinking traveling sometimes here, because like with Tom, I honestly believe that the trip might have been what killed him. And start rethinking your health. Start looking at things differently. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I wanted to talk a little bit about these different things, because we haven't talked in a long time and had a good heart-to-heart talk with each other. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. Be sure to like and subscribe too, guys. I usually don't say that, but I'm going to say it this time, okay? God bless, guys. Take care.